So we're going to just jump right into this. So say you're working currently and you're deciding that you want to become a stay-at-home mom, or, you know, at some point, even if you don't even have children at this point, you know, you do know that that's something that's a priority to you. First thing is you have to get organized. It won't work. You have to keep yourself honest, and organization keeps yourself honest, okay? So if you're still working, keep all of your receipts. Make almost like a flow sheet or a spreadsheet and see where all your expenses are going. I would do this for a minimal of 3 months. I did this for almost a year before I quit. So it's a good way of just seeing where your money's going. And to be honest, you don't want to restrict yourself. You want to live your life as if you were not even planning to lose this income, because then you can truly see an honest number where you're coming from. Big thing, and I know it's really hard, paying off credit cards, or if you don't have credit card debt and you have 2 car notes, ideally try to get one of those car notes paid off. That's why a year of preparation is really good. Either it be doubling up on car notes, or if you're blessed enough to get a tax return, applying that to bills, you know, debt. So paying off credit card debts, or if you can, trying to reduce your car note, or even just reducing the length of that note. You know, if you can pay, if you have it financed for 4 years, trying to get it down to just 2 years that you owe. That's an amazing accomplishment, okay? Credit cards. Now, do we have a credit card? We do have a credit card. We have one. Do we spend on it? No. What it is for is medical emergencies, or like vehicle emergencies. Your engine has to be replaced and it's going to cost you $3 grand. But your husband or yourself, whoever's choosing to be the working partner here, has to get to work, right? So priority is you have to get that person to their destination. We will only use this if we have an emergency surgery that we just can't even come up with the copay. Okay? Whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. But monitoring your APR or your interest rates on those credit cards, that's critical. You know, making sure that you're getting the lowest possible rate that you can get. Because if you do have to spend on it, of course you don't want to be paying 14% off of that debt, right? Store credit cards are an evil thing, personally. And if it works for you, like I've always said, you know what I mean? What works for me is not going to work for you. But I just find that their interest rates are outrageous, and it gives you more excuse for policy. Is if you don't have the cash to get it, you don't get it. So in other words, you learn to save. If there's something that you absolutely desire, then you have to learn to set aside that money in advance to get those things. Saving for vacations. This is an important priority for us and our family for summers. Even if it's just, you know, a 4-day vacation, it's just really important that we spend that time with our kids, especially with my husband being a business owner. He works 6 days a week, so we don't have a lot of daddy time. So that summer vacation truly is like critical for us. But we save at least 6 months prior to that, just as if for like Christmas. Keeping yourself honest. Don't lie to yourself, because that is the worst thing you could possibly do. Well, I did good last week. Well, I'm going to go spend, you got to stop, because you're just going to keep burying yourself. Now for our family, we actually have, me and Wesley are both signers on all the accounts, but we have 3 accounts. We have, I call it the bill account. That means only bills go through this account. We have Wes's account, and this is his money for lunches, whatever. In other words, we switch over, we roll over money, you know, every month to this account for his daily needs, that he doesn't have to worry about it affecting our bill account, okay? And then, of course, we have a savings account. And then you have to set a goal number for your checking account. This is the biggest thing that it took us time. Like, have that number in your account that you won't go below, you know. Either it be in the beginning $200 $500, $1,000, whatever that is. Set that number. So then when you start getting to that number, that it's like, okay, we need to put the brakes on, okay? So those are my pointers for that. This is our binder, our monthly bill binder. And in other words, if Wes has a question on something, he can go here. He doesn't really even have to ask me. He can look. Another big question was, who handles the finances when it comes to the household? It's me. I mean, I'm here. I check the mail. I'm the one who gets the bills. I know what... You know what I mean? I know what's going on. Now, does Wes have accessibility? Of course he does. You know what I mean? He can look here. He can go online and look at our accounts. He has complete accessibility. But he kind of entrusts that. I don't even think he really wants that, to be honest, to deal with it. So, so every month I do a flow sheet of our bills, like June bills. We're now at the point to where I try to pay bills in advance. Like I am one month up on our car note. I am 1 month up on, just certain personal things. But I break my budget down to weekly. Some people hate that, which I understand. But I like to know at the end of the week, where do we stand, what bills have cleared the bank, and what's going on. So I have a balance, every week, and then this is how we do savings, because we are a one income household. Is we take every week we're saving, and it's because we have that number we won't go below type thing. So we do save, and then at the end of the month I roll over into our savings account a percentage. For us, it's 20% of what we have in that account goes into our savings account, at the minimal 20%. So in other words, if we only have $2,000 left in our account, 20% will go. Now, say we were ignorant and we spent some money and we're down to $200. 20% gets rolled over to the savings account. So it keeps us honest. Do you see what I mean? Because we know that we have that 20% there. It tells us like, okay, we need to chill, no more play money. You know what I mean? That's what works for us. I'd love to hear what y'all do in your homes. And then, things that, that are budget killers are dinners, especially for the larger families. Eating out is going to break you, especially when you lose an income. So cooking as much as at home as possible. Lunches are a big crunch here because of Wesley's, at work. So I always try to make a supper a little bit larger in portion, and he can take some to work with him. Now, granted, we do budget for him to have lunches during the week. So like I said, during my weekly budget, I break down for him to have lunch money. Yes. I put down even my grocery money. In other words, you can never be too detailed with your monthly or your weekly or monthly budget, whatever you choose to do. I put my gas, in fact, let me just list. I have, of course, any bills that are due that week. I have gas. I have some fees for Wes's job, personal investment type of stuff that he has to do. So those are included. I have my groceries every week. I call it play money, and that's usually with the kids. Either it be we go to Incredible Pizza, which is like a Chuck E. Cheese in some states, or we go to the movies. You got to have some freedom in your life, or you will splurge. You have to remember, it's almost like dieting. If you restrict yourself too hard, you'll spend too much, right? So you got to allow yourself a little bit of breathing room. I include everything, anything that money can be spent on, it will be on here. So I try to jump the gun. If I know that Lee has braces, for instance, and if he breaks a bracket, it's $32 every bracket he breaks. I budget for at least one bracket. Now, does he break one every month? Nope, he doesn't. But at least I know it's in there, right? So you always budget worst case scenario, and you pray for the best.